Alright, cool. We live now. Mic is hot. The mic is hot. Alright, cool. We live now. We 12 seconds live. We just gonna. This is what I'm saying. My shit is tripping right now, gang. Alright, we just gonna rock out.
Three,
I'm just gonna disconnect the screen.
one.
So it's just
We have a
Nah, how I want this laid out. I don't want this laid out like this. Great. There we go. Hey, big guy. Big guy's on the screen now. It's not lagging no more. I think we are not lagging anymore. I don't know what the hell's going on with Discord today, bro. Discord's tripping. Normally it doesn't trip out like this, but it's tripping today. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to plug it in from. I'm gonna lock in from my phone and listen in on my phone to make sure that we good. It's still lagging a little bit.
It doesn't say you start your live for me.
My computer is tripping, dog. Is it my computer or is it the live? It's the live. It's the computer. It's the computer. Hold on. This joint is tripping right now. Okay, there we go. Alright, cool. Let's see. For some reason, dog. This is why. It says that we good on my end. I'm really thinking I'm about to go do it the other way and go back to I think I might have to leave Discord because it's not catching all the. It is not catching us. And I don't know why. It was just fine a moment ago. Oh yeah, it just skipped hella frames. Hold on. Let's do this. Hold up. Let's bring this joint. Let's put this joint right here. And put this joint right here. And then we going to. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with my shit. It keeps skipping these frames. And now I'm confused. All right. We just gonna have to thug it out. And it wasn't doing this the last time we was live. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, let me Is it still skipping frames? That's the question. Yeah, it's still skipping frames. Yeah, that's the question. Is it still skipping frames? It doesn't look like it's skipping anymore, right? I don't think so. I don't know what the hell is going on. I think we might be okay now. I think we might be okay now. Yep. We might be okay now.
I don't even see you live on YouTube.
Well, whose page are you on?
Oh, nah, let's see. Right. I don't think so. I don't know what's going on. I think you.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I think it's okay. I'm not entirely sure. I gotta figure this out later, another time. It skipped over the last 2 minutes a few seconds ago. I'm going to lower the encoder settings. Ensure that you don't have any other applications that are heavy on your CPU. Okay, I think I'm good. I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm good. Are you good? Alright, cool. I'm just gonna have to pull it up like this, like on my like I can't share the screen so you can see, but it's that joint that I texted you the other day. That long shit. I'm gonna send it to you again actually. Hold on. I think I can send it to you. There's a way that I can share this with you actually. I just don't know how to do it. So that we can look at it at the same time. Yeah, there we go. I press send and then I press cancel at the same time. Boom! There you go. We in there. We in there. You good? Alright, cool. That was a lot. That was so much that I'm going to cue the intro again. That way we can look good. So.
Three, two, one. We have a liftoff.
That joint banging in it. I did that, by the way. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did that. I did that hard work. That took a lot of hard work. All right. And that's when I was first learning how to edit and shit. You feel me? That's when I first figured it out. But all in all, let's get started. Why are you so quiet, yo? Talk to the people. Tell people how you been feeling. You're on mute. Unmute yourself. Can I unmute you for you? Oh, there you go.
Yo,
There we go. Talk to the people, man. We look embarrassed right now. Like,
the word, man. You know, they trying to stop our shine, but you know, we're gonna shake that like it never happened here.
it has been a few days since I've been able to do this, so I am a little bit rusty.
You know, all the matches that we had.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Took my mitt.
There we go. So here we are, starting off.
Mark, this guy that's buzzing. I know something crazy.
Yeah, I do, right? So, let's just jump right into it. What I was talking about was the playoffs and the playoff contention, and some elimination
right?
games. Yeah, some elimination games happened over the weekend. To me, at least, they're elimination games.
Yeah, I'll let you out there.
I think LSU is out of there, right? LSU's packed up,
Yeah, gotta go.
right? I think so as well. I don't think they can squeeze in a 3-loss SEC team. I just don't think that's right to the other teams that have 2 losses.
All right. Now, I
No
don't
matter
think
the
they
strength
can,
of schedule,
but I think if it's Georgia, Alabama, they will somehow.
Texas,
Texas only got one loss, so right?
that's true. But
They're
I
not gonna
mean,
get another two.
you don't
They
think
might
so?
get one more. They might get one more, but
In the
not two more.
championship, aren't they going to the championship
All right, so if they lose the championship, they're still gonna get in.
with 3 losses?
They'll have two.
Well, they would have. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They got to play Texas A&M this weekend, right? Or is that next weekend?
Okay. They're championship. Okay, yeah.
You feel me?
I'll tell you.
Not
Ain't
this
no
weekend,
way
but next
Texas-
weekend. Next weekend. I'm sorry, they
Ain't-
play them next weekend.
They're gonna try to get all 3 of them people in there.
I just
For the money. You know, at the end of the day, it's about that money.
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Ohio State plays Indiana this weekend on Saturday. Afternoon game, which I think that should definitely be a night game. I don't
Nobody knew Indiana was gonna be undefeated though.
That is true, but they could have flexed this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They could have flexed this. They could have said Iowa State, I'm sorry, you're being a
Right.
day game. You know what I'm saying? Or Wyoming versus Boise State, y'all could have been a day game. I mean, we got
Exactly.
Army, we got 9-0 Army and 9-1 Notre Dame at 9 o'clock or at 7 o'clock. So that's also pretty good. But I don't want to get off topic, too far off topic. I mean, let's see. Let's see who Texas has. They have Kentucky, and then they have A&M. So they can potentially lose to A&M, still get into the championship, and probably play Alabama or A&M in the championship,
Mhm.
right? And then if they potentially lose that game because they haven't played really well versus the ranked SEC teams. Like, we know the bad
Mhm.
SEC teams, Florida.
Ole Miss still in there too.
Ole Miss is still in the mix. But I don't think they're going to
What's
get into
they?
the championship, though.
What's their record?
Same as Texas A&M. I think they are 8-2 as well.
Yeah, I think if they went out, they'd probably be in the championship.
You think so? I mean, they did beat
Who
Georgia. They just beat Georgia, right?
they lose to? Who they lose to in
Kentucky.
conference?
They lost to Kentucky, and they lost to Hold on, wait. I'll tell you right now. I got it pulled up.
Well, everybody got 2 losses within conference except
They
for
lost to Kentucky, and then they lost to Ole Miss. I mean LSU. I'm sorry, Kentucky and LSU.
so A&M and Texas, the only one with one in the conference loss.
No, A&M has 2 losses, but that's what I'm saying. If
In
A&M
conference, no?
get who did they lose to early? They lost to LSU opening week, and then I can't remember who their second loss was, but it
I
wasn't.
think they were undefeated since then.
Let's see, A&M,
Yeah,
South
it would be
Carolina.
high.
They got South Carolina put belt to ass.
I was going to say
44-20.
44-20. God damn.
Yee.
No,
Yee.
they beat LSU.
No, who they lose to opening week? Oh, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is who they lost to opening week.
Out too.
23-13. I don't know how I feel about
So
that.
they only got 1 in conference loss.
Yeah. Do the in-conference losses hurt more than the out-of-conference losses, though?
For out of conference losses don't matter for the conference championship.
So yeah, A&M would be technically A&M would be the front runner for the championship then.
Yeah, they
For
play
at least
Auburn,
one seed for one of the seeds.
because they only got 1 loss. Even if they lose to Texas, they'll still be a 2-loss team.
But then no, they would be a 3-loss team then though at that point. But
So
they'd be a
I'm talking
2-loss
about for
conference team.
Right, so they can still go to SEC championship though. It'll be hella tiebreakers because all of them got 2 losses.
I guess then they would have to go to then strength of schedule. Like, no,
It's weird. It goes to like
I'm very
first it goes
confused
to
on championships now.
it goes to like the teams you didn't play in your conference.
Okay.
Their record, whoever has the best combined record,
Oh, okay. I got you.
and then it gets real hectic. Especially like if y'all don't have a head to head.
Basically,
So
so like
it,
basically, if they like, let's just say Alabama because they didn't play Alabama. So Alabama
Right.
and Georgia, they didn't play Alabama and Georgia, but LSU played Alabama, and let's say LSU that did play Alabama and Georgia. I don't think they played both of them.
it'll be like say A&M ain't play Alabama or Georgia.
Right.
You add those ones up, and it'll be what they both be 10-wins team, so
Yeah.
it'll be 20. And say LSU didn't play Auburn and South Carolina. You add those teams, whatever 2 wins is the highest,
Mm-hmm.
you win. Like you get it.
Okay.
I'm crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like 90% sure because that's what they was talking about in the Big 12 when it was getting real hectic.
Okay.
But yeah, especially if I don't have like a head-to-head tiebreaker. Of course, that's
Yeah, I was gonna say because they none of them do at this point. I don't think any of them do. I think the only one that does is Bama and LSU, right? Because Bama and LSU,
Georgia.
Georgia, but they didn't play each other. Oh, they did play each other. Yeah, they did. Ryan Williams.
But then what about Texas and Georgia? So it gets real confusing. I don't know.
But Texas didn't play really. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. I think Texas is probably one of the most they're probably one of the more talented teams all around built. But I feel like they are the most fraudulent team in this group.
Their defense is elite.
Their defense is like that, but they did get handled by they were getting moved by Georgia.
They weren't. They were.
Travis Etienne had 150 plus yards.
You know, I mean, they were on the field the whole game.
They was getting moved.
They weren't, though. They didn't allow 200 yards.
No, I'm sorry. He didn't have 150 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns, but they're in the goal line. They were short field. Sorry, I'm thinking of another game. Instead of 150 yards. I'm thinking of another game.
I mean, Texas defense is elite. But yeah, I don't know when that comes. I
don't know, man. Texas scared. Texas just doesn't move me, bro. They don't scare me. They just don't move me. You feel me? Let me. I'm gonna read you these scores. I'm gonna read you these scores. Okay. I'm gonna read you these scores. Colorado State 52-0 should have been that. Okay. Michigan 31-12. They don't have a quarterback over there. UTSA 56-7. UL Monroe 51-3. Did I name anybody good yet? Okay. Here we go. SEC games. Mississippi State, 35-13. Is Mississippi State good? Oklahoma, 34-3. They played a freshman quarterback.
Oklahoma, I don't even think they're 500 right now.
At all. They played Georgia, 30-15 loss. Okay. They played Vanderbilt, barely beat Vanderbilt, 27-24.
Vandy's not sweet no more.
Vandy's not sweet no more, but you barely beat them.
Facts.
Florida, are they good? They're on their third QB.
And DJ Lagway got hurt.
They're on their third QB, 49-17. Arkansas, 20-10.
Arkansas is all right.
So your hardest game this year, your hardest 3 games were Vanderbilt, Georgia, and Arkansas. And the point differential between those games is 15, 3, and 10.
Plus 3.
So, I mean, and Kentucky, and then you have a hard game versus Kentucky's not no pushover. They beat Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is a pretty well coached team, in my opinion.
They should have beat Georgia too.
Yeah, they should have beat Georgia too. So, what are we You see why I'm not so moved by them? You feel me? You see why I'm not so moved by them?
Yeah.
And Quinn Ewers doesn't move me much either. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Say it's because they have the roster. It's the quarterback.
Quinn Ewers don't really move me that much either. And I ain't gonna lie to you. He doesn't. So, I mean, I'm gonna watch this game. Maybe I'm just not watching Texas enough. Maybe I'm not watching the Texas games enough. But I'm gonna watch this game.
This is why I'm not about to move too far ahead. But this is why Shador is the best quarterback. Because if you put him on any of those teams,
with those
Georgia,
lines,
for just team, period. Georgia, Bama, Texas, his numbers would be insane.
I think it's the line.
The line too. Don't go wrong.
I think it starts with the line.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about SS in a second. We're about to talk about SS in a second.
I'm just saying, any of those teams, they'd be super elite.
So other games that might have got a little shaky and might have ruined some things this past weekend. LSU, like I said, LSU boot, right? Clemson barely scraped by Pitt. That game was fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. And their edge rusher, PJ, what's his name? TJ.
For Clemson?
Yeah, PJ Washington. No, number 3.
Yeah,
He had 3. Let me hold on. I don't want to mess up his name. I'm gonna respect this man and put effort in to learn this man's name. Hold on. TJ Parker. He had TJ Parker. He had 4 sacks and 1 pass deflection off the edge. Yo, when I tell you that man is a game wrecker, Yo, he killed that
Yeah.
entire last 30 seconds. Even though Pitt moved the ball, it was on one. It was a play that they took him off the field, and that was the only time they moved the ball. When they put him back on the field, right? They gave that set of pass rushers a break. Coach Sweeney sent in new rushers. Pitt ended up moving the ball on that play. Then he sent that old crew, that first team, back in there. T.J. Parker knocked he killed that
You
shit.
only have sophomore too.
He killed that shit. Oh my goodness, he is a dog. What's up with them and having dog edge rushers, bro? Dog D lineman, period.
D-line.
D line, period. Yo. So they're still alive. Bama, they're playing Mercer. That's the one thing I cannot stand about college football, bro.
In November.
I don't like it, period. I don't like it at all, in my opinion. I feel like at the beginning of the year to the end of the year, you need to be playing bump all year.
In the beginning, it's like you don't get preseason games. So
No.
It's kind of like a preseason.
That these niggas practice in the spring. They practice all spring, and they get like a month break in the summer. I don't want to see no Mercer versus Alabama, no Ole Miss versus UL Monroe to kick off the season. No, bro.
That's the free games.
No. If we gonna have a preseason, have these niggas do scrimmages, son. I don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? That, for one, that's messing up the chances for the guys in those conferences, anyways. You know what I'm saying? What if those guys?
Out of conference.
No. I'm not talking about for FBS. I'm talking for the FCS schools, the UM Monroes, the Mercers.
They don't count towards their conference.
Bro,
they can still win their conference. It don't matter.
Bro, them niggas are gonna be 5-4 because they could be you feel what I'm saying? They could be 6-4 and they could have been 7-3, but they had to play Alabama. They had to open their season with, you know what I'm saying? Their quarterback that they had that was looking real promising to go into the season was gonna be nice, but then they opened up with Alabama or Ole Miss or LSU, and they got killed. What happened to the kid at Akron? What happened to him when y'all played him? Remember that? Remember when y'all broke his rib? That's not funny. That's not funny. Y'all broke his rib. Is that fair to him and his team? Is that fair to him and his team, bro?
They got paid too.
Come on now, bro. It don't matter. That money ain't going to him. He ain't seeing that money. That ain't going to his NIL. Come on now, bro. That's why that's the one thing that I favor the NFL over college football. It's just I don't like seeing those kind of games, bro. I need to see, like, if you're gonna do out of conference games, do out of conference Big 10 versus Big 12 or Big 10 versus SEC. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me no Big 10 versus CUSA. What the hell is South Carolina doing playing Old Dominion? Struggling at that. They struggle versus Old Dominion at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see that. Back on topic. Purdue got blown out by Penn State. Why is Penn State number 4? I don't know. They don't move me to be number 4. And y'all didn't play them. Oh, y'all did play them this year, and y'all beat them. Right. Who else did they not? Who did they play next weekend?
I don't think they scored one.
Who do they play next weekend?
Did they score a touchdown on us?
The pick 6.
Yeah, other than that.
No. Straight field goals. They play Minnesota and then they play Maryland, bro. Yeah, they're going to get smoked in the playoffs. Then, SMU beat Boston College. Louisville got upset by Stanford. Their playoff season hopes are over, I think. Because Louisville is now 6-4 and 4-3 in the conference.
Yeah, they're done.
They're cooked. Wait a minute.
So what's all the championships right now? Right now, the championships.
We got locked in for the championship. Big Ten already confirmed that we're in the we secured our spot in the conference championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already said they announced it this morning. They announced it this morning.
Even if y'all lose the 2 games, y'all still have tiebreaker over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Well, we only have 1 game left. Do we have 2 games left?
Yeah, 2 games.
Oh yeah, we do. Hold on, wait. Do we? I thought we only had. Oh yeah, no, we have 1 game left.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Our last game is next weekend. We're on a bye this week, I think.
Oh yeah, we got 2 games.
Damn, a bye this late in the season is crazy.
That's lit though.
Yeah, get everybody healthy right before the playoffs. And then we get another bye right after after the championship, right? Or no?
Yeah.
So it's what is it? It's Washington. It's the last game of the season, and then
you get a week before you play your
championship, and
bowl
then
game.
another.
And then you got another 2 weeks in the
hey, this is a
I don't know how this rate works.
This is gonna be
there's so many games.
this is gonna be really good for us. I ain't gonna lie to you. Get everybody healthy. Get everybody back on track. You feel me?
So if we beat Indiana, I think we lock up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, and then after that, I don't think y'all have to play anybody. Oh no, y'all gotta play the team up north.
Michigan. Yeah, the church niggas.
Yeah, but y'all gonna curb stomp them though. Well, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so.
We feel like they stole something.
Yeah, cause y'all. Yeah, but this, I feel like this would be like a petty win for y'all though, cause they not as good as they supposed to.
They got nothing to do with us.
That's gonna be a petty win, bro.
And I hope we put 60 on it. I mean,
that's gonna feel like a super petty win, bro.
It's not my problem.
So. Let's see, Georgia. Oh yeah, LSU lost. I can't believe LSU lost to Florida, bro. That still shocks me. Ouch, that's not good.
So ACC, Miami still trade schools, right? So right now, I'm in Miami versus who?
It's SMU.
But they both got one loss.
Yeah, but they both at the top of the conference, and
SMU doesn't have an in-conference loss today. They only lost to BYU.
Mm-hmm.
So, dang, it'll be a shout out to SMU.
And I haven't watched a game of SMU yet, but apparently they nice. So I need to watch them, I guess.
They lost to BYU, though.
That is true. But BYU, no, you're right. They lost to BYU. And BYU has not impressed me yet in any game that they have won.
Even when they were winning, it was like, eh.
They haven't impressed me in any game that they won. I can't blame them because that's who's on their schedule. And, they did what they were supposed to do on their schedule. But.
Oh, did you hear that?
No.
I saw it.
They lost to who they lost to on a schedule. They beat who they beat on a schedule. But like a lot of their schedule was really light.
Yeah. I mean, they just lost to Kansas.
They did lose to Kansas, but like again, this is another team that like their wins they don't really move me. I'm gonna read you off their wins: Southern Illinois, 41-13; SMU, 18-15; Wyoming, 34-14; Kansas State. That's what got them in. Was the blowout to Kansas State when Kansas State was hot? Because Kansas State, I think. In what was it? Was it week 3 that they beat Colorado?
Nah, week
5,
6.
No, it was week 3 that they lost to Nebraska. No, week 2 that they lost to Nebraska, or week 3.
Yeah, week 2, and then like week 6 or 7 they lost.
Okay, so yeah, blow out Kansas State. That's what got them into the AP poll. Then they barely got by Baylor. Beat the dog shit out of Arizona. Barely got by Oklahoma State with no quarterback. I feel bad for Van Gundy. I ain't gonna lie to you. For Coach Gundy. BYU, UCF. Beat UCF by 13 points. 37-24. Barely got by. That Utah game still pisses me off, bro. That Utah game still makes me mad. Because that was not a holding on the corner on the freshman. It wasn't a holding on the freshman. The freshman, like... It was such a bad flag. But after that, I mean, Utah started,
You talking about the BYU Utah game?
Yeah, dude. Then Utah started folding at the end.
It was holding. It was passing.
I don't think so. On number 4, on the other side, I don't think so, bro. I would look at it like how the refs looked at it for the Ravens Bengals game, where Mike Gesicki, he was in the middle of the field and he kind of like got tied up with DBs. But Joe's not looking. Joe's not looking to that side. He's not even in the field to play. Well,
I got you.
So you know what I'm saying. He's not being affected by the play. You know what I'm saying. That DB on the left side of the field, he barely even touched him. And the receiver just sold it. He just sold it. He acted really well. He sold it really well. So I mean, they didn't really move me. And then they got their ass handed to them by Kansas. I ain't gonna lie to you. Kansas was doing whatever
And
they want.
they trying to play spoiler for everybody.
Yeah, they are. You seen what the kid said this weekend? Kobe, what was his name? Kobe something? Kobe
Kobe
Johnson?
Bryant.
Kobe Bryant,
Kobe
yeah.
Bryant.
He was like, I had this game circled the whole year. I can't wait to play them. But
Sound good. Sound good.
they look fast as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, Kansas DB. No, both of them. What's that other dude name? I forgot his last name. But his name Mello something.
Mm-hmm.
Mello Johnson, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are nice. Like
Kansas
those
is
are
nice.
two.
One of their DBs is ranked like top 25 in PFF. I can't remember which one it is
All
though.
right, cool.
Yeah,
But they both got 5 picks.
yeah.
And
They
both
defense
like
is
that.
Kansas should have been a better team than what they were this year. Their
Yeah,
record doesn't tell.
They were ranked.
Yeah, they were ranked in the beginning of the season. I just their record just doesn't tell who they
JT
are.
just
Let me
their
see. What are their
quarterback started
losses?
off.
What are their
And it was all
losses?
close losses.
They lost to Illinois by a possession. Lost to UNLV 3 points. Lost to West Virginia by a possession. Lost to TCU by 2 possessions. Lost to Arizona State by 4 points. Lost to Kansas State 2 points. Then they've been playing upset ever since. They beat Kansas, they beat Iowa State, and they beat BYU back-to-back games. Now they play Colorado. Can they upset Colorado? Can they upset Colorado? Did I lose you? Yo? Hello? Hello? But yeah, I'm gonna just keep going. I don't know what the hell he got going on. I'm gonna just hide his joint real quick. I'm gonna just hide him real quick. His power just went out. His power just went out. Okay, that's probably why my joint is tripping too, because there is kind of thunderstorms over here. So let's see, are my frames skipping? 26 minutes ago. So yeah, it took a little while for my joint to get acclimated. I probably should have warmed up my computer before just jumping on, but I'm gonna keep rocking. So yeah, I'm all in on BYU getting booted. I'm all in for not Kansas. I'm all in for Colorado to get in. Hopefully they can keep this winning train going. They got Kansas next. They should dub them. And that led into the next question: will Colorado win the Big 12? And I hope they do. I think they can. They find ways to win these games. They put themselves in a hole where they don't belong in the first place, and then they end up digging themselves out in the second half. If they could just play their second half type of football for 4 quarters, they would be very hard to beat. They would be they're already hard to beat in the second half. But if they could play first half like they play in the second half offensively, they would be a very, very hard team to beat. Defensively, they play great. You know what I'm saying? No penalties. They don't really get penalized for pass interference. They don't get penalized for holding. They don't get penalized for offsides. They don't get penalized for neutral zone. Unsportsmanlike. They're a very well disciplined team on defense. Offensively, they get a couple of flags like false start, holding, and that's just about it. Illegal man downfield occasionally when they do their RPOs, which they barely do. But if they could just like clean up those little things, they will be a very hard team to beat because Shador, dog, leads that offense, and Travis, dog, plays on that offense. And now they're kind of finding their run game. They're still trying to find it, but they're getting there. I think just Pat Shurmur refuses to run the ball, and it's actually kind of crazy. So what I'm gonna do is right now, I'm gonna hold on 1 second. I'm about to do a promo real quick. Watch this. I'm gonna join this. I'm gonna join the spaces. I'm in the spaces with Giants fans, and I'm about to join it. Watch this. I just sent them my request to get a mic. Let's see if they accept me. In the meantime, Oregon, we barely escaped Wisconsin, but we did, and I'm glad that we did, because if we would have lost that game, I think we would have been set back. I don't like when we play Washington, because when we play Washington, it always feels like a trap game with Washington. We'll be doing good, and then somehow, some way, Washington finds a way to beat us. And they keep talking like, oh, Washington's a rival. Washington's a rival. I guess. But hopefully we curb stomp them. I love what Dan Lanning has done this year. Last year, he was like it would be some unnecessary things. This year, he gambles a lot. I know that's a gambling man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know a gambling man when I see one. And Dan Lanning is a gambling man. When I tell you I know a gambling man when I see one, that is a gambling man. I promise you he is. It's the risks that he takes on fourth downs. The gamble move that he did versus Ohio State, leaving 12 men on the field so they could get the flag, whatever case may be. He is a gambling man, but he is a smart man. And I will be very sad the day he chooses to leave Oregon and go, pursue his career, further his career somewhere else. But I hope that when he does leave, he leaves it in good hands to somebody that he trusts. I hope if he does, whenever he does leave, it's on good terms. It's because he's going to get a better job, like in the league. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him stay in college football. Go to the league. Go to the league. You know what I'm saying? Go to the league. Or just build a dynasty here. Pull a Nick Saban and do it here at Oregon. I would love that. I would love that. I would love to be the new Alabama. I would love to be the new Ohio State of the Big Ten. I ain't gonna lie to you. You feel me? Not the Ohio State. Because Ohio State, they I ain't gonna badmouth Ohio State. I ain't gonna do that. But they be selling sometimes. Y'all know that. They be selling sometimes. We already did who will win the SEC. I think Alabama's gonna come out with the SEC win. I don't think Georgia is gonna do it. If they run into Alabama again, I think Georgia is going to lose that game. I'm not forgetting about Texas. I just, when Texas ran into the big boys, when they ran into Georgia, I just seen an entirely different Texas team. I didn't see the same Texas team that, I seen versus all these other teams. I seen a completely different Texas team. And that could just be just me. That could be just me. But I seen an entirely different team. And, my eyes do not lie. They don't lie. They don't. So, damn, they didn't accept me in there. I'm going to listen again. I'm going to keep requesting. So I'm going to mute this, actually. Moving on to the NFL. Okay, I don't have a lot of time left. I'm gonna cut this. I'm not gonna cut it short, but I'm gonna not speed through this, but I'm gonna just give my take on it. And you feel me? I'm gonna start with Chiefs. They take their first loss to the Bills. Was it an ugly game? Yes, I think. Well, it wasn't like super. It wasn't like Ravens Steelers ugly, because that was a really ugly game. But it was like, it wasn't ugly. I guess it's what you would expect from like two teams of different powerhouses like that. You feel me? Like the Bills and Chiefs, it's a rivalry now because of the quarterbacks. I think Josh Allen has 3 regular season wins over Mahomes now, or 4 regular season wins over Mahomes now. But Mahomes remains king in the playoffs, so can't take, what I'm saying? Regular season is cool. Beat me in the playoffs. That's what I would say if I'm Mahomes. You can have this regular season shit. I'm nice in the playoffs. You feel me? I'm nice in the postseason. You can have that. So, but with the win though, and the way that Josh played in that game, he did throw a stupid interception, but outside of that, he played really well. He played really good in that game. He made all the plays, he made all the throws except for the interception. A couple of other throws that he could have made that was a little better, but he played really well. And last year when Lamar won the MVP, his numbers weren't MVP caliber, right? Whatever the case may be. He didn't have the most touchdowns. He didn't have the most passing yards. He wasn't the highest in QBR. He wasn't the highest in this stat or that stat or the third stat. My definition of MVP, right? And I keep talking about this MVP. Ace, why I keep talking about MVP? Because it's super. MVP is very important. And because the same couple of guys are winning it does not make it any less important. Or because a guy that you don't like winning it is winning it and your favorite guy is not winning it because you think he doesn't make it any less important than what it was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. The MVP is still one of the most accomplished awards to win outside of Super Bowl MVP, outside of winning a Super Bowl, outside of winning an AFC title game, NFC title game. MVP is still a top 5 award to win in the NFL. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Now, these guys, they're going to say they're not chasing MVP. They're chasing rings. They're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? They want this. They want that. They want the rings. They want, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But MVP is still huge. And my definition of MVP is exactly what it is. Most valuable player. If you were to take, and we've seen this, guys. Let's not act like we do not know who the Baltimore Ravens are without Lamar Jackson. Let's not act like we didn't see them go from being leading the AFC, right? In the middle of the season, they were leading the AFC. Lamar Jackson goes down for just about the rest of the season, right? And they lose the next, 5 games. Then they start dropping down, decline. Right? Then they play the Bengals in the postseason. And they're within one win. They're within one score. They're right there. They're at the goal line. But your backup QB can't hold the ball to get it in the end zone. And they fumble. And Cincinnati is waving goodbye, running to the other end zone. Then the year before, he also got hurt. It's 2 seasons where he got hurt. And the Ravens just went let's not act like we don't know what this team is without Lamar Jackson. Let's not do that, man. Let's not do that. When your player is 80% of your offense, yes, actually, he's 80% of your offense. He is damn near 90% of your offense. He's been 90% of your offense for the last 7 years. This year, just so happens that you finally got him somebody that could take the load off of him using his legs. Okay? This is the year where he doesn't have to be a 1,000-yard rusher, not even a 900-yard rusher, maybe not even an 800-yard rusher. He could be an 800-yard rusher or a 900-yard rusher. He might even be able to eclipse 1,000 if he starts using his legs in these next, 7-4, 11 games, so 6 games left. In the next 6 games, he can accumulate another 500 rushing yards and another 800 to 1,000 passing yards. Which I think he probably will finish with the projected stats that he has, which is 45 passing, 900 rushing. I'm estimating, by the way. It's not exact. I think exact is 917 or 914 or whatever shit like that, and 4556 or some shit like that. But it's 45, 900, and 42 total touchdowns. Right? That's insane. That's one of the best seasons that we've seen, and that's with having 3 projected interceptions, maybe 4 or 5 interceptions, because he's at 3 right now, and none of the 3 are his fault. If Rashad Bateman holds on to the ball, that's one less interception. If Mark Andrews catches the ball, that's one less interception. If Justice Hill secures the ball and he falls on his back, that is one less interception. You feel me? But I got a little distracted. I want to go back. With that being said, MVP is last year's MVP. To get to that point, my last year's MVP was Lamar Jackson, and it's because of what he did in the games that were in the biggest moments. He beat the 49ers. It was him and Dak racing for MVP. Okay, it was him and Dak that was racing for MVP. Dak couldn't beat the 49ers. He choked in the 49ers game. And he was putting up good. He played up great numbers. Okay. He didn't beat the 49ers. He split with the Eagles. It was other games where in the 5 losses that they had, they were really nasty 5 losses. Now, Lamar Jackson, he put up 5 touchdowns against a really good Dolphins team. He beat the dog piss out of the 49ers game. There's people that said, oh, the defense carried in the 49ers game. Okay, he had 3 touchdowns. Did they have a pick 6 over there on defense? I can't remember. Did they have a fumble 6? I can't remember. I remember Lamar Jackson putting Fred Warner on his hands and knees. I remember Lamar Jackson scrambling out the pocket, making a crazy extension on the play, scoring a touchdown. That's what I remember. That's just me. That's what I remember. I don't know. I remember Lamar Jackson back and, snapping the ball, backpedaling to his left, flipping his hips and throwing it to the right side of the field, confusing the defense. To me, that's an electric type play. I don't know. That's a moment type play. That's a statement type play by an MVP, made by an MVP. Plus, he also didn't start 1-6 or something like that. Was it 1-6 that they started? No. It wasn't 1-6 that they started. I think they started 1-3 or 2-3 or some shit like that. I don't know. Can't remember what they started last year. And I'm not talking about the Ravens, I'm talking about the Bills. Yeah, it's about moments. And he had great moments. When they played LA, he showed up and got them to get to overtime. He cooked the Seahawks, who were one of the best teams. He cooked the Lions, one of the best teams. I just don't know what more you need to see from a guy. And he did everything that these other guys weren't doing. Okay? He played in the harder division, won that division again. I just don't know. And he had I think he had the number 1 seed. He finished with a number 1 seed. Locked it up. Didn't even have to play the last game of the season. And his only 3 losses came from, I think the Raiders beat them again. I think it was the Raiders last year that they lost to. Was it the Raiders? And the Steelers twice. No, the Colts and then the Steelers twice. Games that they had no business losing. And it's not like he played bad and he didn't lose. He didn't play the last game. The Colts game was nasty, but the Steelers game. Anyway, that's in my next joint. Allen takes the leap in the MVP race, and I can't be hypocritical. Allen, I think he has 24 touchdowns and 6 turnovers, or 6 or 7 turnovers, something like that. 5, maybe 5. I think it's 5 turnovers. I know his interceptions are starting to creep up. You know what I'm saying? That shadow of interceptions, that habit, is starting to creep up. But he just took down the Chiefs. He played really great versus them. Is he my MVP still? No. I don't think one game drops Lamar from being MVP. I still think Lamar is the MVP. His wins are better than his losses. They significantly outweigh his losses. And even in his losses, he hasn't really performed terrible. I think the worst game that he's played was this past weekend. And that's saying a lot. I don't even think he didn't play bad versus the Raiders. He didn't play bad versus the Browns. He didn't play bad versus the Chiefs. In fact, the Chiefs, I think he had 270 plus yards, 40 yards on the ground, 50 yards on the ground, and a touchdown. No interceptions. He played better than Patrick. And then what separated them from winning that game and losing that game is a toe on the back of the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is still my MVP at least. And, you know, hats off to Allen. You balled that last game. You know, my question for Allen and the Bills were, can they beat a team over 500? Can they beat a really good team, if anything? Because if you look at their wins, it was early in the season versus the Cardinals when everybody was like, oh, the Cardinals aren't going to be good. They beat the Titans. They beat the Jets. They beat the Patriots. Or no, they didn't beat they haven't played the Patriots yet. The Dolphins, they curb stomped the Dolphins the first time. Barely beat the Dolphins the second time. Beat the dog piss out the Jags. The Jags aren't all that good. You feel me? Like, just like... And if anything, I don't even think they were going to beat the Dolphins the second time. I think a really bad flag, saved them at the end of the game to put them in field goal position to kick a field goal to not go into overtime. I think if that game goes into overtime, I wholeheartedly believe that the Dolphins win that game. But it is what it is. They're 9-2. I think they're 9-2 going into the bye. And they're really set up really well to contend for the first seed. They're one game behind the Chiefs now, or maybe 2 games behind the Chiefs. 1 game behind the Chiefs now. I think the Chiefs have like one more loss in their schedule, in my opinion, because I think they're going to rest their starters at the end of the year for that Broncos game, potentially. And I think that Broncos game might, if they don't feel like contending for the first seed. If they don't feel like contending for the first seed, they probably lose that last game, in my opinion. But that's just, because I don't think, like, after, 11-2, no, they're 15-2 should get them the 1 seed. I don't think Buffalo will have 2 losses by the end of the year. I think Buffalo finishes 12-5. I think they lose to Detroit. San Fran is a toss-up for me. And I also believe that they will probably lose that last game of the year, because they also may rest their starters. And that's why I'm saying that. If they rest their starters, I think they lose that last game of the year. If they play their starters, then they'll probably be like 13-4. But my prediction is 12-5. And the same goes for the Ravens. I think the Ravens will also finish 12-5. I don't see them winning. I don't see them losing more than 2 more games. I think their next loss will probably be... who do they have coming up? They have Chargers, they have the Eagles, they have the Steelers, they have the Giants, they have the Browns, and I'm missing a game. I'm about to find it right now. I'm about to find it for you right now. Texans. All winnable games. Very much so. I don't even know. Are they even favored in this game? Let's see. Are they favored in that Texas game? Yeah, they are. Not by a lot, but they are. I don't think they're favored in this Steelers game. Oh, they are favored in this Steelers game. I guess it's because it's a home game. Yeah, I don't. For most people, he's in. That's all they needed to see. They just needed to see Lamar lose and Josh Allen to win that game. I think if Lamar wins that game, I think regardless, I think if Josh Allen was to win that game versus the Chiefs, they were going to jump him up in MVP odds, and that's just that. That's my opinion on it. However, I think by the end of the season, if he puts up the numbers he puts up and he takes that division back, and you can't deny him MVP. And I think if you give it to Josh Allen, it's like a Joel Embiid type thing. Like, here, just take it. Here, fiending ass. Here, just take it. You know what I'm saying? But I think Josh Allen is in the same mindset as Lamar. Like, I don't care for the MVP. I want to win a bowl. So enough with the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens. I'm gonna get back to the Ravens in a second because I really got a lot of beef with a lot of social media. But Moving on to the AFC, moving on in the AFC North, the Steelers did get the win. They have a tough road coming up ahead. I still think that they are a little bit fraudulent. I'm not gonna lie to you. That defense, real. Offense, you know what I'm saying? Like the offense is a little shaky, and I don't think it's solely on the quarterback. I don't think it's a quarterback thing. I feel like it's just more than the quarterback. I feel like it's more than just Russ. I feel like it's also the O-line getting pressured quickly. They ran the ball effectively, but they don't have explosive plays. I think like their longest run was like 13 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like they have the deep ball. They could throw the deep ball. You know what I'm saying? They can attack the middle of the field. They can attack the outside. But the Ravens played it exceptionally well in the first half. I think Brandon Stevens just gave up too many big plays, and then Trey White started to take his reps a little bit, and I think we'll see that moving forward for the Ravens. But the Steelers, I don't think they're not, to me, they're still, to me, because that defense is so damn good, it makes up for the offense. It puts their off. It makes up for a really lackluster offense. But I believe that these next few games that they have coming up are going to be really, really hard for them, especially closing out the season. They still got the Chiefs. I think they also play the Eagles. They got the Ravens again. Then they have the Browns. And then they have the Bengals twice. So, I mean, they're going to be coming up. Oh, and they have the Browns twice, actually. So, they got the Browns tomorrow. Now that I think about it, they have the Browns tomorrow. And then, yeah, and then, they have, 4 more division games after that. So, it's going to be really tough for them. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be really hard for them. But I would like to see how it goes. I love gritty AFC North football. It's tough. Speaking of the Bengals, they have one more chance to lose or they are officially eliminated. Can they make it? Who did they play this weekend? I think they already had their bye, right? Who did they play this weekend? Let's see. Are they on a bye this weekend? It looks like they're on a bye this weekend. They're on a bye. And then they come back next weekend with the Steelers. I don't know, man. I don't know. Steelers and then Cowboys. That should be a winnable game. And then Titans should be a winnable game. Browns should be a winnable game. Broncos. Who do they close with? The Steelers. They may be playing spoiler at that point. I think they may be playing spoiler. I don't see them winning out. Sorry, Cincinnati. I don't see y'all winning out. I'm sorry. I think y'all get one more win, but then I feel like if y'all do lose, I think y'all lose out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably beat the Cowboys and then the Titans. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's just as far as it goes. I'm sorry. Y'all not making the playoffs this year. And it sucks because Joe Burrow is having a career year, and he's balling. So is Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase having a career year. They are balling right now. But y'all don't have a run game. And y'all defense really can't stop a nosebleed. So, but, I mean, y'all been in games. Every game y'all been in. It's just not all the way there. And I just think because y'all are losing those games, it's hurting y'all more than anything. So, I 2 more wins, guaranteed. Titans and Cowboys. Outside of that, I don't know about the other 4. So, and, does this lead to coaches being fired? Does Zach Taylor get fired? Do some other coaches around the league get fired? Doug Peterson, Brian Daboll, Matt Eberflus. I'm just going through the list in my mind of all the really bad teams that I don't think they fired a head coach for the Titans because it is his first season and he was working with the bare minimum. I think you give him like another year or 2 before you think about firing him. Mike McCarthy, does he get fired? I would love to have Mike McCarthy, a Super Bowl winning coach, 12-5 in the last 3 years with the Cowboys. Let me get Mike McCarthy. Well, yeah. Let me get Mike McCarthy. Let me get Mike McCarthy. Yeah, let me get Mike McCarthy. Maybe. I don't know. Depends. Depends on who my GM is. If my GM can keep that guy in check, then yeah, let me get Mike McCarthy. So, and then then last but not least, Giants benching Daniel Jones. Woo! Now, it's a woo and it's a, I will say, as a human being and as a man, right? Daniel Jones, you have been high class, super respectable, you know what I'm saying? Hard, you did work hard. You never complained. You never bursted out. You never threw anybody under the bus. You always took everything to the chin. You know what I'm saying? You did everything. You did everything that, like, from a media standpoint, you know what I'm saying, that we wanted. You said all the right things most of the time. You handled yourself well. You never got into any trouble. You were the face of the franchise, and you did what you were supposed to do as the face of the franchise, right? Well, not the face of the franchise, but you were a leader in the franchise. You were the quarterback for the franchise, and as the quarterback, you did what you were supposed to do, right? However, when it came to getting on that gridiron in between those white lines, I've seen more bad than I've seen good. And for 6 years, I'm sorry, Daniel Jones, I just had enough. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit there and be like, I hate Daniel Jones. I hate you. I wish the worst for you. No. But I do think that you need a fresh start somewhere. I think you should, I don't like what we are doing to Daniel Jones, in my opinion. Making him an emergency quarterback, him being fourth string, not getting any reps. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to dress at the games. I don't like that. I don't like that shit, in my opinion. It was better to just cut him, right? It was better to just cut him and then say we're moving on with Tommy DeVito as a starter or Drew Lock as a starter. And then let him go sign, let him clear waivers and go sign somewhere else and put out some tape somewhere else. So that way, he can, live to fight another down somewhere else. I mean, we were going to have to pay him regardless. We were going to have to pay him regardless. You know what I'm saying? We gave him all of his money up front early. We gave him 84 million, 84 to 88 million, whatever. We gave him to that early. Cool. We just got to give him like 22 more, whatever. Like, we could do like 11-11. Just give it to him and get up and be done with it. Wash your hands and be done with it. You feel me? Wash your hands, be done with it. Let him, I feel like what they're doing to Daniel Jones is burning so many bridges in the future. And it's so wrong, bro, in so many different ways. It's so wrong in so many different ways. Hold on, wait. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Hold up. My boy D-Kit's hosting. I know D-Kit gonna give me a mic. D-Kit is hosting. I know he's gonna give me a mic. D-Kit's hosting. I know he's gonna give me a mic. D-Kit. All right, we're going to wait for him to give me a mic. Oh, he gave me a mic. He gave me a mic. Hold on. This is Spaces on Twitter.
You don't think these guys?
Yeah, I do. I agree. And if they,
This is Spaces on Twitter.
but 1-6 or 0-7, then yeah, I don't think they survive. I'm terrified.
All right,
that they
I'm going to wait.
with-
I'm going to wait. I'm going to put my AirPod in. I'm going to continue saying what I'm saying, though. I just don't like what they're doing. I don't like what they're doing. I think with Daniel Jones walking out the door, let him walk. Brian Daboll, let him start fresh somewhere else. Joe Shane, this past draft, you've had 3 drafts, and this past one was your best one. And that's saying a lot, being that it took you 3 years to get it right. You feel me? Like, normally you have a plan. Normally you have, like, an idea. And I understand that the 2 drafts early, they didn't really have what we really want. I think the first draft, Kenny Pickett, where we really wanted to draft Kenny Pickett. But we had 2 first-round picks. You know what I'm saying? And we drafted Kayvon. I love that pick. Evan Neal. At the moment, I love that pick. At the moments, I love those picks. I'm not going to lie to you. I love those picks in the moment. But they feel like they're not hitting right now. Like, I love Kayvon Thibodeau. I love Kayvon. I don't care what anybody says. I love Kayvon, and I feel like he showed potential having 13 sacks and having 13 sacks, you know, in your second year, and then in your third year, this being your third year, it's a terrible year for your team. You break something in your hand. I mean, I can't blame him for that. When your team is on the field majority of the game, they are going to be tired. They're going to be tired. They're going to be sick. They're going to be, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be in there. They're going to be gassed. You feel me? It's not good. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. It's not set up for him. Evan Neal, I have no answer for Evan Neal. I don't know what the hell's going on with Evan Neal. I don't know if he need. I would like for Evan Neal to start somewhere fresh too. But he looked pretty good when he played last week. Maybe he did need to sit down and learn. You know what I'm saying? Learn behind some vets instead of throwing him just out there like that in a position that he. You know what I'm saying? Because I think when we drafted him, he played left tackle. I don't remember him playing right tackle. If he did play right tackle, it wasn't often. So, and flipping fields like that is hard. You know, flipping fields like that is not easy. So, Josh Zidu, you know what I'm saying? We got Wandell in the third. I feel like we could have got Wandell in any other round. We got Wandell in the third. It just feels like we went absolutely nowhere for 3 years. You feel me? It feels like we just kept taking back pedal after back pedal after back pedal after back pedal after back pedal. You drafted some beautiful names. You brought in some beautiful pieces. But when we're losing these games by one possession and you look at the stats, you look at the box score, you look at the tape, and it's because our quarterback is throwing interceptions and the red zone. Our quarterback is throwing interceptions on game-winning drives. Our quarterback is missing open reads. Our quarterback doesn't throw the ball with anticipation. He waits until he sees the chest of the jersey. He doesn't throw the deep ball really well. He doesn't throw across the middle very well. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you decided to sign him instead of tagging him and paying Barkley. It's just not. We look like a disease to the NFL. Like. Our front office is making us look like a disease to the NFL. Like, we don't belong in the NFL. Like, we don't deserve to have an organization. The way that we treat these players, the way we treated Barkley, the way we treated Xavier McKinney. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. The way we're treating Daniel Jones now, financially now. You already gave him his money. Just cut him and let him be free somewhere else. Don't sit there and make him the fourth emergency. That's so evil, man. That's so evil, man. I feel like it's evil. And if they let me, I'm gonna try and get their opinion on Mike on Mike here. As soon as this guy's done talking, I'm gonna try and get their opinion. But it's been. If we don't draft a quarterback, if we don't lose these next 7 games. We don't lose the rest of the season. If we do not finish top 3 in the draft, sure, we could get one more culture win. But if that one more culture win, it what separates us from being top 3 to top 5, 4 to 6, and the teams in front of us need quarterbacks, you better lose that damn game. I don't care. You better lose that game. Lose that game. Lose it. Lose it. Tell your starters, like, listen, man, I understand what y'all want to do. But if y'all want to win in the future, this is what I told this group. I speak to this group every day. This Facebook group, right? I speak to this group every day. I told them when we were playing the Steelers, they said, how do we win this game? How do we win versus Steelers? How do we turn the season around right here? I said, you win by losing. They said, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I said, this is why it makes sense. You win by losing. This is what I mean by that. You lose this game now, and you lose more games in the foreseeable future. Right? You lose the season's done. The season's over. Season's over. By then, I think we were 2-5, 2-6. The season's over. There's no point. We're not catching up to the rest of the NFC. We're not. We're not catching up to the Commanders. We're not catching up to Washington. We're not catching up to Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit. That's 5 teams right there. We're not catching up to those guys. We're not catching up to Seattle, San Fran, Arizona. We're not catching up to those guys. So what's the point? Lose these games, jump in front of the Raiders, jump in front of the Titans, jump in front of the Browns, because those are our three biggest threats to drafting who we want to draft between Shador and Cam Ward, right? Between those two picks, or Milroe, or whoever, you know, those three guys, because those are the best three guys coming out of the draft this year. If we don't get one of those three guys, we're gonna be stuck. We're gonna suck for the next 2 years. We're gonna suck for the next 2 years. Nobody's gonna, like, if we don't start, like, it starts in the draft, man. It starts in the draft. If we do not draft correctly in April, I don't care about December right now. I don't care about January. I don't care about February. I don't care about March. When April comes, April 26th, whenever the draft is normally the last weekend of April, first weekend of May, whatever. Come that time, if we do not draft correctly, if we do not draft properly, I'm done. If we don't get Shador, Cam, if we are in position and we don't get one of those two guys, please, I will take that jersey down. I will take this jersey out of the frame. I will not be associated with nothing Giants. I promise you. I will literally buy all the way into the Ravens. I don't care. I'm saying it right now. I will buy the whole way in because I'm not doing 7 years. We shouldn't have even had to do 6. And the way you treat these players is such a disgrace to the game of football, to what they do for the game. Who cares if it's just a business? Yes, it's a business, but you don't conduct business that way, bro. You don't conduct business that way. You don't conduct business to say, "Hey, go leave and go test the market." And if they tell you what, they give you a good number, call me back. And they don't even offer him. We seen all that on Hard Knocks. He said, "What's going to be our identity? If we let Barkley go to the Eagles, I can't sleep." That's what the owner said. And he went to the Eagles, and he is killing over there. It's so nasty, bro. It's so nasty. It's so nasty. And the dude Daniel Jones, the way we doing Daniel Jones right now, I understand he's not great. He's not a great quarterback. I understand that. But just cut him and let him, because he's a great person. He is a great person. Cut him and do right by him and let him go be somewhere else, man. Let him go flourish somewhere else, man. Let him go flourish somewhere else. Rumor was that the Dolphins offered to trade for him, and we said no. Why? I don't know, man. It's just like I don't know, man. I just know when we do get the right guys in there, and I don't know who the right guys are. I can't tell you who I want. I can't tell you who I do want. I can tell you who I want. All I want. I would love to have Ben Johnson. I would love to have Spags. I would love to have Marcus Freeman. I'd love to have Dan Lanning. I'd love to have I wouldn't love to have Mike McCarthy, but shit, I would consider Mike McCarthy. I would love to have Cliff Kingsbury, quarterback guru for real. I would love to have Sean McVay if he decides to leave LA. I would love to have Glenn Glenn from Detroit as well. I would love to have Todd Bowles if they decide to fire him. I would love to have Robert Saleh, Brian Flores, all these guys. GMs, don't ask me about GMs. I don't know about GMs. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I would love to have somebody better than Joe Shane. I can't no more. I really can't. Another thing that I wanted to go off about, because as y'all see in the title, is this shit is blasphemous. I've seen Mad Dog, I've seen First Take, I've seen Get Up, I've seen Speak, all these big shows on ESPN, Fox, FS1, whatever the case would be, CBS, cool. All it took for them to see was Lamar lose one game. I'm gonna focus solely on Lamar in this aspect real quick, because he's my favorite player, and I'm gonna die on a hill for this nigga Lamar. I will go to bat from the day that he was drafted. Fuck that. From the moment of the NFL Combine, when they told this man, you should play wide receiver because you won't be a successful quarterback. That's the moment, from when he got his Heisman and then he was voted in to be a Heisman finalist again and he didn't win the second one. That's when I became a super fan, and now I'm a mega fan. I don't know why. I cling to guys who get the negative bat for no reason. For no reason. Absolutely no reason. There's no reason. And Lamar's story, I love Lamar's story from Louisville all the way up until this point. I love his story, bro. Every time niggas bet against Lamar, every time niggas try and bring up playoffs, every time niggas try to say that he can't do this, he can't do that, and then when he proves y'all wrong, it's but he also can't do this and that and the third, and then he proves y'all wrong again, and then it's also he can't do this. Oh, it just makes me so angry, bro, because y'all don't talk about these other quarterbacks the way y'all talk about Lamar, bro. Y'all will. All right, so this is who we're going to compare the top 3 quarterbacks. And as a matter of fact, I can't compare Mahomes because Mahomes has 3 rings. 4 rings. I can't remember. He has rings. Okay, he has rings. All right? He has rings. When we talk about the other guy, though, Josh Allen, and what I'm not going to do is tear a guy down to lift another one up. But that's what a lot of people like to do. Y'all like to tear one man down to bring another man the fuck up, and I hate that shit. I try not to curse on this show, but I get so passionate and so angry about it because I talk to the same group of people, and it's the same conversations all the time. And I see it on Twitter, and I see it on Instagram all the time. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, he does that. Josh Allen should have been MVP last year. Josh Allen started the season ass last year. Josh Allen, yes, he had, what do you have, like 45 touchdowns? The man had 25 turnovers. The most of his touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, he had 15 rushing touchdowns last year, if I'm not mistaken. 15. 77% of those, of his team's rushing touchdowns are from him inside the red zone. Just like how Jalen Hurts gets his tush pushes in the red zone when the receiver or the running back lands at the 1 or the 2, and they tush push his ass the way in, and he gets his 1 yard rushing touchdowns from that. That's the same thing Josh Allen is getting. Josh Allen is getting these goal line rushing touchdowns, these 5 yard rushing touchdowns. You feel me? They not like it's bro, like he had a great statistical year outside of the turnovers last year. He had a great year outside of the turnovers last year. Okay? But Josh Allen puts the ball in harm's way too much. He started off the season way too bad for him to even be considered MVP. I'm sorry, bro. I don't care if he had to come back to win the division. His division is weak. His division is weak. It's the Jets who had no quarterback. Zach Wilson was their best quarterback. Where's he now? What is he doing now? The Patriots. Was it Mac Jones that was starting for them last year? Was it Mac Jones or who was their starting quarterback last year? Patriots, they were a top 3 pick last year in the draft. They had a top 3 pick. That tells you that much. And then the Dolphins, who blew it at the end of the season. They blew it. They blew it. One of the highest scoring offenses in all of football. And they blew it. They shit the bed. That was their biggest competition, the Dolphins. And the Dolphins barely came any. They started losing bad. I think they only had 1 win from November to December. I think they only had 1, maybe 2. And look what he's doing in the division now. Without Stephon Diggs, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even say he's doing. I wouldn't even say, because he had the same exact roster last year as he had this year offensively. He had Kincaid. I'm sorry. He had Kincaid. He had Kincaid. He had Knox. And then now they've added Wilson. They've added Samuel. They had Shakir last year. They had Cook last year. They had the same O-line last year. They just added more pieces this year. It shifted around some. They lost Stephon Diggs, who was huge in that offense, and he's elevated. And Josh Allen needs to be thanking Stephon Diggs because he elevated his game. And once you get to that status, I think it's hard to regress. Once you play at that level for so long, I think it's hard to regress. He's been doing it for 3 years. I think it's hard to regress. 4 years now. I think it's hard to regress. I don't think. I thought it was going to make a huge difference, but I was obviously incorrect. I mean, he's been getting the ball to all these different guys. Now, the touchdowns aren't there. Passing touchdowns aren't there. I think he only has like 22. I think I think he would have had a lot more this year with an earlier weapon, with a more like a wide receiver one earlier in the year. I think he would have had way more touchdowns, but I think he also probably would have had more turnovers. So I when you look at like the game that Lamar played versus the Steelers, you know what I'm saying? They said, "Oh, it's Lamar's fault. He can't play against the pressure. He can't do X, Y, Z. He can't do X, Y, Z." When the Buccaneers blitzed him, he threw for 5 touchdowns. And that's not his only 5 touchdown performance this year. I think he had multiple 5 touchdown performances. No, that's his only 5 touchdown performance this year. I think he had a 4 touchdown performance, a 3 touchdown performance, a 3 touchdown performance against better defenses. Against the Broncos, he had 4 touchdowns. Against Tampa Bay, he had 5 touchdowns. Against the Bengals, 2 times he had 3+ touchdowns. Against these other teams, he's been cooking shit. Now, if let's say he threw for 9 for 30, 1 touchdown, 180 yards, or if he threw for freaking 180 yards and lost and only put up 10 points and lost, y'all would crucify him. But because it's Lamar, I feel like because it's Lamar, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. I just hate that y'all over criticize and then y'all box score watch and then y'all don't really y'all really not watching the games, because in that Steelers game he throws to a wide open Deontay Johnson, drops it in the bucket, Deontay drops the ball, throws it to Deontay again, drops the ball, hands the ball off to Derrick Henry, second play in the game, fumble. We haven't seen Derrick Henry fumble in 500 plus carries. Fumbles, okay, cool. Get the ball back with 30 seconds left to go and drive after defense gets a good stop. Screen or little dump pass, screen to Isaiah Likely. Fumble. Okay. Justin Tucker, 2 missed field goals. That's 6 points. Okay. Throws a good open wheel route. Now, mind you, I wish I could play the clip for you guys. Peyton, it's a great read. It's a great throw. It's the throw that they've been making all year. It's the wheel route they've been running all year. And they've been getting the same look on it all year. And he's been throwing it the same way all year. Peyton Wilson his back is to the quarterback. He doesn't see this ball coming. Okay? Justice catches the ball. And as he's going down, Peyton Wilson's strong ass rips it from him. He rips it from him. And it's considered an interception. People are like, oh, he could have led him a little further. Did y'all not see Minka sitting 10 yards ahead of him? Minka is sitting at 10 yards ahead of him. That's a hospital ball if he leads that. It might be going the other way if he leads that, regardless. It was a great throw. And then and then he's 16 for 33. There's other throws that he could have made that could have been better, but in the moment that mattered the most, he drove down the field, he scored. Zay Flowers dropped another pass, by the way. Bateman dropped the pass, by the way. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to focus on Lamar. Since we like to talk about Lamar, we're going to focus on Lamar. Drives down the field, throws a little bang 8 to Zay in the end zone, scores. They have to go for 2. It's 16-18 at this point. What I don't like, the Steelers called the timeout. This is when you play chess. Okay, this is when you play chess, but but I'm not gonna blame the coaching. I'm not gonna blame the coaching, right? We're gonna talk about Lamar. This is when you play chess. Okay. Steelers know that they're about to run this QB power in the formation that they came out in before the timeout. Steelers knew they were running QB power. Okay. In my opinion, whether it was QB power or QB power pop pass, whatever you want to call, right? If they call that timeout, I'm Lamar Jackson. I am saying, I don't care what you want to call. I want my 3 best offensive players on the field right now, outside of me. So that's Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and one of the tight ends. Both of the tight ends. Fuck it. Give me both of them. I want both the tight ends in here. You feel me? I want both the tight ends in here. Okay? why Todd Monken did not put Derrick Henry in. A lot of people saying Derrick Henry didn't get the ball in the fourth quarter. They only had 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. One was within 2 minutes. The first one was a interception on the second play. I don't know I don't know how he's supposed to carry the ball and he's not in the game. I mean, the offense not even on the field. In the last possession, they had to put the ball in the air. How useful is Derrick Henry when they got to throw the ball? Would you put Derrick Henry in and you got to throw the ball? So what would I call in that play after the timeout? I am calling I'm either handing the ball off to Derrick Henry, I'm running a read option, and I'm running the RPO. You can't, with an RPO, you might be able to get a legal man downfield at that point, but I think because the play would happen so fast, I don't think that you would be able to even draw the flag for RPO or for like an RPO right there. But that's what I would run on the goal line. 2-point conversion, I'm running the RPO. Or I'm running like sticks because they can't guard my guys. They can't guard my receivers one-on-one. And if they want to go man, they want to load the box. Cool, they can load the box. I got an out route by Zay Flowers, one of the best route runners, one of the best receivers leading the league in separation. I'm gonna throw the ball to him on the out route. I want the ball on the right hash or the left hash, whatever hash I feel more comfortable with throwing this ball to. Probably the right. I am motioning Zay Flowers over, right? So maybe we want to do this on the left hash because I like running my plays to the boundary. I like to give my players space to create plays, right? Slide that nigga, motion that nigga all the way over to the other side of the field, snap this ball, read the end. If the end crashes, you know what we doing. We pulling that hoe. And if Lamar Jackson can beat his man 9 times out of 10, he's beating that man. He's getting in the end zone. If not, I probably would want Pat Ricard back there too, so that he can lead block. Yeah, cool. Or Mark Andrews, one of the two. I don't know. If not, Zay should be open on the out route over there. Dump the Zay, 2-point conversion, game over, or not game over, 2-point converted, kickoff. Go score, Russ. Go get in field goal position. Or else we go into OT. Or I'm getting this ball back because I had 3 timeouts left. And I'm getting this ball back and I'm going to drive downfield and give Justin Tucker a chance. Throw a Hail Mary. Not even throw a Hail Mary. Throw a deep ball. Try and draw like a OPI or DPI, whatever. Who knows? Who knows? But they had a chance to win that game. And I just gave you the best case scenario. That's not the best play you could draw on the 2-point right there. You know what I'm saying? That's not the best play you could draw. But that's that's better than what they came up with, in my opinion. It's better than what they came up with. But I just, I seen guys say he could take his 2 MVPs and shove them up his ass. I seen guys say there's no way in hell that he's even in the MVP race anymore. Y'all kept this nigga Josh Allen. Y'all like to praise Josh Allen so much. Y'all kept this nigga Josh Allen in the MVP race after throwing for 9 for 30 and getting smoked 35-10. Then y'all said that he didn't play in no big games. That Lamar only played in 2 big games, the Steelers and the Chiefs, and he lost both. Okay, cool. What about the Bills game? That wasn't big. That was a primetime game. What about the Broncos game after a loss? That wasn't big. The Bucks game, another primetime game. That wasn't big. So because they curb stomped them niggas, that's not big. But I digress. I ain't gonna lie to you. I digress. I just wanted to rant about that because I just don't like how y'all sit there and y'all talk about this man, but y'all don't look at the whole. Y'all not looking at the whole. Y'all not watching the game, man. Y'all just looking at the box score. Y'all just looking at the highlights and y'all saying, "Oh, he should have did this. He should have did that." And then your ass need to go out there and do it. Then, how about that? I think that loss is not solely on Lamar Jackson. That is a team collective loss. I think in the final moments it came down to the coaching, and they just got out-coached in the final minute of the game, man. That's all what it came down to. Outside of that, it was a great game by both teams. They played hard, gritty football. It was nasty. It was grimy. It was sloppy. Like from a penalty standpoint, it was sloppy. But it was gritty football. It was hard hitting football. T.J. Watt had a hell of a game. George Pickens had a hell of a game. Chris Boswell had a hell of a game. You feel me? Like it was AFC North football, and that's what I like to see. I will be back again on Tuesday. Meech's power went out about an hour ago, so hopefully we can get him back next week. Weather was nasty today. I love y'all. I appreciate everybody that came out. I appreciate everybody that made it to this point in the video. We've been strolling for an hour and 30. It's a little cleaner now.